for any of you who haven't tried any of these like Prime, Atlantis, Nebula, all those really, crazy brands, I mean, maybe go see every now and again. Like every now and again, I go down to Pure Muscle and Fitness just because the equipment is so good. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, Eric Janicki's training at commercial gyms. Now, he's used to training at gyms with the fanciest, the best equipment, but it's going to be interesting to see how he, someone who uses all this amazing equipment is going to do at a commercial gym that doesn't have the most premium equipment in the world. I think this is kind of similar to me. I got really premium, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I got some pretty good pieces at home, and at the commercial gym, the Good Life near my house, it's not nearly as good. So I'm going to be watching today, letting you know exactly what I think. So let's get right into it.
The hammer strength linear leg press. Oh, let's see the range of motion on this bad boy. Oh, I don't even know if I can, is it underneath? There we go. It's actually not terrible. What I like to see is the back plate tends to be, this is so high up that I'm having trouble getting to full depth, but am I not even bottoming this out? I'm getting pretty close, but we're gonna optimize this bad boy. Let's get a little set opening up here.
So Eric's like 6 feet tall and all this stuff, and he can actually get a pretty decent full range of motion on this machine. Now, your boy, freaking 5'5" tall, he can't do jag diddly squat on this machine. My Good Life has this exact leg press, and I can barely hit parallel. My little tiny T-Rex length legs literally don't allow me to go nearly deep enough. So that machine is pretty much a bust for me, but there are some things Eric's doing to make it even more or better anyway. It's not exactly a good machine, I can't lie. Especially, I got the Nebula leg press at home, absolute spectacle, the one Ronnie Coleman used, by the way. It's so much better, but I guess for Eric, because he's super tall, it kind of fits him.
We got the torque wedge. Final prototype, final product will be here shortly, but I'm gonna add these U-hooks here. We can use it on literally any foot plate. I'm just gonna place this one with my feet for now, but you'll see this already adds 4+ inches to range of motion, and it helps with the ankle mobility of trying to get really deep without having to worry about the heels lifting off, which was already happening to me a little bit on that 4 plates. Let's see how 6 feels here. Oh, so good, dude.
I've already made a video on Eric talking about that wedge that he uses, and I think it's freaking fantastic. I mean, it's so, maybe if I had that wedge, I could actually get a full range of motion on that leg press, because it adds like this much extra range of motion, which is quite a lot. And obviously it's on that angle, so it allows, for better ankle mobility. Your ankles or your heels don't come off when you're pressing up the weight, so because you have that elevated heel. So I think that's amazing, and it's a great thing to have if you have, let's say you have this leg press in your gym and it's the only one you have. Obviously you want to be able to get as deep as possible, so by adding something like that, blocks in the back, so like he's doing there, you can get a really good range of motion.
All right, guys, I was super excited about after exercise 1, but we're now here at seated hip hack, whatever you want to call it. I feel like this is going to be so miserable. It already feels really weird. It's funner to make machines like this. I understand you're taking a little pressure off the back, maybe, but then now I've got a lot of slide on this pad, so I feel like I'm gonna slide off this as I go deeper. But we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna optimize this. I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary here, stick the wedge on here, low foot placement. Come on, wedge, come through for me. Instantly feels like 10 times better, but we'll see. Oh, are we cooking? Are we cooking? Oh, that is actually kind of good now.
The wedge again, adding a crap ton more range of motion. I have never actually really properly tried one of those leg sleds, but Honestly, just looking at it, it kind of just looks like a cheese nugget kind of hack squat. I get it. It's like, oh, taking the pressure off the lower back, but isn't that kind of what a leg press is for? So to me, it kind of feels like you took a leg press and you took a hack squat and they had a baby. And usually when you take, you know, two machines, you try and combine them into one. The end output's not nearly as good as if you just use the hack squat or use the leg press. And the limited ones that I have tried, I have went to a couple showrooms because we were thinking of getting one of these for our home gym, but I gotta be honest, the range of motion is just not that great. And obviously, Eric adding the wedge, and he's also freaking 6 foot whatever, so he can get all the way down there. But me, there's absolutely no way, probably even with that wedge, that I'm going to be getting all the way down there. So, not really a huge fan of those machines, and I would much prefer just doing a regular leg press or a normal hack squat.
So this one I'm a little more sure about. Everybody, you guys all have barbells at your gym. That's why I wanted to have one exercise that I wasn't super stressed out about. So I have a deficit RDL here. I like a deficit over a traditional RDL because you get more depth, and hamstrings especially have been shown to grow very, very well in that stretch position. So I'm gonna work really, really hard to keep that knee angle almost the same. That's why a lot of people will do their RDLs wrong, where they'll get a lot of knee bend. You wanna keep this angle pretty much static, about 170 degrees here, and then you just wanna hinge the hips back and then drag down those shins. And then we're only gonna come up to about here. So we don't wanna go all the way into the lower back and glutes. We wanna keep these mostly in hamstrings. So we wanna go just up to here, tuck, brace core, reach, 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 and then drag right up to about here.
Love RDLs, and I would always do them in a deficit too. Eric says, you know, to keep it on the hamstrings, don't lock out at the top, but personally for me, I like the lockout on the top. You know, RDLs are an exercise where I can get really gassed really quickly, so I find that if I lock out on the top, I take a couple breaths, then go for my next rep. I find that works better for me, but play around with it. If you want more constant tension on the hamstrings, then that's definitely a better way of doing that, because right at the top at lockout, they're kind of just not really doing anything. But I don't really think there's any real benefit of doing constant tension. As long as you're taking the muscle to muscular failure while you're resting at the top or not, you're gonna get the same output. And as far as like hip hinge movements go in public gyms, I think that's probably your best option. It's a free weight movement as well, which, you know, when I go to public gyms, I mainly do free weights just because most of the machines there aren't that great. At commercial gyms anyway. Pure Muscle and Fitness, that's a different story. But I think another, if you were at one of these like commercial gyms, I would assume they would have a Smith machine, and you can do a Smith machine good morning, and that would be a pretty decent option too. You can definitely get really good range of motion, really good stretch. The only thing is, I think it's a little bit I don't like Smith machine good mornings nearly as much. I find I can't progressive overload as much on it. It doesn't feel as comfortable because the barbell got to be on my neck or the bar there, and it's pressing down on it. So I prefer RDLs, but that is another option if you go to those commercial gyms.
Ever see the thing you see today? You see Eric Janicki on a hoist quad extension. It's not a new high for me, guys. Look at the range of motion. That's literally as far. I wouldn't even say, is that even 90-degree knee flexion? I would say it's about 95 maybe. Yeah, we needed an acute angle here. So see here, it's actually pretty good peak contraction. Let's try to stack this up a bit. It's probably gonna hurt the hell out of my knees. Oh my God, so much knee pressure and then only goes there. That's crazy, dude. You can't make equipment like this. All right, but I have a solution. Of course, I have a Torque product. I've got the Torque quad extension pad. Fits on any quad extension. This is my prototype, don't worry. It's gonna look super clean. This was CNC carved, and then I chopped out of it to make it more comfortable. But that's what you gotta do as an entrepreneur. So let's see how this works now. This shifts your knee angle forward and then above your hip. So now instantly, we already have way better range of motion here. Still not great, but let's take the quads out. See how these look here. Lock in, pull the butt down.
Leg extension machines, for me anyway, are notorious for the vast majority of them being just dog shit. Whether the peak contraction's way too hard, the range of motion sucks, and especially, you know, the one at the Good Life at my house, I'm just gonna say, it absolutely sucks. it is so hard in the contraction and so easy in the stretch at the bottom. I mean, the resistance curve, you'd think it's a weight stack, so it would be nice and constant throughout. No, absolutely not. The one I have at home is way better, and it has way more constant, even tension throughout. I would say the range of motion is pretty similar, but the constant tension is a big thing for me, and that really lacks with most leg extensions. Now, Prime, I don't know if you guys know Prime Fitness, their leg extension I would say is probably the best in the world, because it allows you to load each aspect of the range of motion in different places. So if you want more tension in the stretch, you load it on this peg, more tension in the contraction, load it on that one. So you get to pick and choose with that machine. So I would say that is probably the best leg extension in the world. I don't have that, but the one I have, still pretty good. And like Eric's doing in there, if you want a little more range of motion, you can put a pad under your thighs there, so you can get that extra ROM. Now, when I do go to the Good Life near my gym, if I do leg extensions, I definitely do that. And I find, like he's saying in the video, that it takes a lot of pressure off your knees. So I personally like to do that. But at home, I actually don't like to do that. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel nearly as good. But if you only have one of these kind of crappy leg extensions, and if you've only ever used one of those leg extensions, you may not know, or any of these machines, you may not know what you're actually missing out on. So I would make some modifications like Eric's doing to some of your machines there, or maybe see if there's a different, bigger gym like Pure Muscle and Fitness in your area, and maybe go try some other machines, because, bro, I'm telling you, some machines are just so infinitely superior to others.
This flying leg curl, I'm gonna give it a chance. Life Fitness, don't let me down. All right, come on, please. My goal is when I lie down in this, I'm gonna already have a little tension and stretch. I just pray to the hamstring gods right now. Come on. The stack is not touching down. We got a little bit of a pivot point here, so we can keep our hips up. No way. Is this gonna be good? Oh, it's actually good. No way.
And Eric's liking the lying leg curl. Personally, the one I have at my commercial gym, I don't like it at all. I feel it way more in the contraction, and it's just not very good. The seated leg curl I have at home, much better. More constant tension throughout again. And I also just prefer the seated curl to the lying curl anyway. So it's not, the point of this video is, it's not that you can't get a good workout with this equipment. I mean, I'm sure you can, as long as you're training hard. Again, it really doesn't matter, and that's the most important variable. But just know that there is way superior equipment that's smoother, has better resistance curves, it just feels better. So for any of you who haven't tried any of these, like Prime, Atlantis, Nebula, all those really, crazy brands, I mean, maybe go see every now and again. Like every now and again, I go down to Pure Muscle and Fitness just because the equipment is so good. So if you're in the area where Pure Muscle and Fitness is and anything like that, I would highly recommend you go check out that gym, because I'm telling you right now, when you try some of this stuff, it's gonna feel insane. So that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think about some of these machines in the comments down below. Do you like a lot of the Life Fitness, Good Life Fitness, LA Fitness commercial type gym equipment, or are you someone who's using all the Prime and Nebula stuff? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.